Welcome back to the House Podcast, episode number
25.
I'm your host, Josh Handler, one of the founders of the Handler Zimmerman team over at Keller Williams in Massapequa. Everyone's saying this market is absolutely bananas, and it still is. If you're looking to possibly buy, sell, invest, if you have a house that has dog shit all over the steps, you name it, we still want to buy it. If you're looking to sell your home for top dollar in this market, reach out to us. We want to take care of you. If you're looking to buy in this market, of course, we got you. Give us a call, 516-732-6398. We'll be more than happy to help or answer any questions you have about the market in general. Now, today's episode is with a up-and-coming, I would say, developer. He's basically fix and flip. He is a contractor. He wants to get into rentals. He wants to basically do everything anybody who's in real estate wants to do. Financial freedom, and that's the end goal. So we had the pleasure of working together recently on a house that he did in Belmore, and thanks for coming on. So we have George from ESG Development. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me here. Glad to be here. Looking forward to doing this podcast with you.
No, I appreciate you coming on. So, let's dive right in.
Let's do it.
I don't know, like when we first met, we didn't know, I don't really know like backstory. I know like you did, construction, you made this ridiculous house, and, we were able to work together and sell it. But what did you do before construction? Have you been in construction all your life, or?
No, I haven't been in construction all my life, actually. My first job out of college, I went to school, and I was a manager at Wendy's.
Manager at Wendy's.
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous now, but that's what I did because that's the only thing I could get. Because when I graduated, I just needed a place to go. I had to pay some bills, and that's the job I could get.
Okay.
So, and I did that for about a year, but it was not for me. I mean, a lot of people do it, more power to them, but it's not what I wanted to do, right? And I decided to go back to school because at that time people advised me like, well, if you want to get more opportunity, you got to go back to get your master's, and then because I was always thought that's gonna be like a finance guy, right? In the financial world, the Wall Street, those traders, that was my thing. And
so when you were going to school, is that what you thought you were gonna do?
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's what happens. A lot of people, they have they don't know what they want to do. They think they want to do something, but then when they try it, they don't like it.
Yeah.
But most people actually stay in that job, so that's the problem. And I didn't do that.
Well, they're scared of risk. They're scared of change.
Yeah. So when I went to school, I got my MBA. And it was much better. Actually, I got a lot of job offers because with master's degree, are much more demanded their services. And I went to work for a company in Manhattan. But again, I looked around. There are people sitting in cubicles for 15, 20 years, and I'm like, that's
not for me.
I was disappointed, right? I put 6 years of my life. I got 2 degrees, and I was just not what I wanted to do.
Well, at the end of the day, even if you're working for somebody and you have a great job, if you're not happy, I mean, you only get one life.
Exactly.
So people that they wake up every day and they're miserable to go to work. Like, yeah, you may be making, 6-figure salary, but you have a cap, right? You're always going to be working to make more money for the top guy.
I agree 100%, and that's what happened to me. I was making decent money for that time. I was, out of school, but I just didn't like it. It was not for me, and I left. I just couldn't take it, and
I give you credit for that because a lot of people, man, they will not leave.
Saying. But at that time, I was maybe 22, 23. I was young, but it was not I was healthy, and I thought I can just find something I like to do, right?
Right.
And I remember this day, I was sitting in my apartment. I had a few $100 left to pay rent, and my roommate was getting nervous, no job, what's this guy gonna do? So I'm reading this. Back then it was newspapers looking for a job basically. And I was in Brooklyn, and I see this advertisement. They're looking for a salesperson. Then there was a tile store. Well, the guy would bring tile from China, and he would sell to wholesale to other stores.
Okay.
And they wanted specifically a Russian-speaking person. And I spoke Russian, but I never sold anything in my life. I'm like, let me just try it. I gotta do this. I have no other recourse. And I thought sales would be perfect because you don't have to sit in the office, just go out and meet people and try to sell them your product.
100%. That's why I love real estate. Every single day is different. You're not going to the same deal. Same thing for you probably with construction. Different client, different house, different deal. It's always different.
So I went to this meeting to interview, and I was prepared, resume. I was trying to, but the guy just didn't care about any of that. He's like, "Can you sell?" I'm like, "I think so." He's like, "I'm gonna give you 1 month. This isn't the number you have to bring in from my company." He gave me $30,000 in his products, whatever. If you can do that, you're hired. That's it. He said, "There's no."
That's it.
You cannot learn this. If you're a salesman, you are. If not, you're not. So I'm like, all right, well, that's fair enough. So So I go out and they give me little pamphlets. They give me like samples of tiles they were selling.
And this is before no construction
No,
background.
I'm not even. This is my first experience in any construction.
Okay.
So I go out there and they send me like South Brooklyn, where Russian areas are, and there's a bunch of stores. And they told me like, that's your area. You gotta bring some sales in. But that was not really formal training, nothing. And but what I liked about it, I had a freedom. He said, you don't even have to come to the office. All you gotta do, just come once a week to tell me what you do, who you sold, and that's it. And I loved it. And then another thing I liked about it, potential is unlimited.
Right.
I was getting a commission, basically a cut. So the more I sell, the more money I make.
Right.
And that's what I liked about it, because when you work in the office, sometimes even at Wendy's, they would make you work 60 hours because somebody called up, whatever.
Yep.
But they would not give you any overtime or anything, because they would just try to like write it off.
Yeah, like, oh, this is your salary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in sales, obviously, it's up to you. You can make $100,000 a month. You can make $1,000 a month. So
Yep.
whatever is you decide to do, that's what it is basically.
100. Like that's why real estate, when I got into it, like I loved it so much, because if you bust your ass and you hustle, the sky's you can literally make $500,000 a year. You can make, there's literally no limit. As much as you want to work, you can make as much as you want.
That's what I liked about sales, and I'm like, listen, I'm gonna become best salesman I can. And I started learning, watching videos, reading books, talking to people in the company that were working, but it was not easy, because when you do
Nothing ever is. I mean,
I had like samples of tiles. I go to the store, but the problem with that setup is that when you go, there's a million tiles. So if you're not there and the customer comes in, so I would try to like use tricks. I would put my tiles up front, like hide somebody else's stuff. Things like I would try to become friendly with the people, like salesperson in the stores.
You try to do whatever you can. You want the sale.
But it didn't go as quick as I thought, right? I was getting frustrated, but then I'm just like, there has to be some other way, right?
And how long were you there for?
No, in company I was about 5 years. But
okay.
In the beginning, like I said, this setup that I would go to the stores, it was not really, like, it's hard to get your stuff sold because there's a lot of competition. And I was driving back, I remember there's on Ocean Parkway in Brooklyn, it was a big building. Somebody was building condominiums, right? So I'm like, this guy has to buy tiles somewhere. So I'm gonna go out and bring my samples and try to sell it to him. That just like this came in my mind out of nowhere. And I thought, wow, what if I can do that? So I go in and there's like construction going on. People are like, what do you want? I'm like, listen, I'm selling tiles. This is my name. They're like, the guy who makes decision is not here. So I left my card with the foreman. I'm like, listen, please just give it to him. We have good service, good quality tile, and just call me back. I said, okay, no problem. So I go there. I wait 1 day, 2 days. Nobody calls me, but that's like my only chance to make the quote that they gave me. The quote.
Okay.
Like, I gotta get the sale no matter what. So I go back and I find this guy. I'm like, listen, remember I come like a couple days ago? And he's like, yeah, but he doesn't want your tile. So I was like, oh, and I was frustrated. So I was walking out and I see my pamphlets he put in the garbage. So he never gave it to him. I'm like, this man. So I devised a plan. I'm like, I gotta talk to this main guy. So I'm gonna park my car here tomorrow morning
and wait
for him. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know who he is, but at some point he's gonna come here. And I did that. That's the decision that you gotta make sometimes. If you want something in life, you gotta become a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I parked my car in the morning. That day I was waiting, but there's people coming in and out. I'm like, I cannot identify the guy. And then I remember there's a fancy car comes in. Like, I never saw the car like this. I can usually identify if it's a Ferrari. This car I couldn't, but I knew it was like sports car, fancy car. And this guy comes out. I'm like, this has to be the boss.
This is the owner.
So I'm running up to him. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, who the hell are you? I'm like, listen, my name is this. I sell tile, and I was trying to get to you. I was here yesterday, day before, 3 days in a row. Please give me 5 minutes of your time. And he's like, all right, what do you have? And then I showed him my samples. He's like, I have a partner. Just come to our office, and we'll talk about it. And that was it. That's what I needed, because if you get me,
you just got to get that first step.
Exactly. You got to get your foot in the door, because we had at that time tile was good, price was good, because he was bringing first hand, and then the others would resell it. So this guy was getting much wholesale price. There was no reason for him to say no to the tile.
Right.
I just had to make sure he knows who I am and what I have to sell. And
agreed.
That's what we need to do. And they bought it. They bought like 6,000 square feet, and they had other buildings he was working on, and he recommended to his friends, and that's it. It took off.
That's awesome.
And I never looked back after that. But what happened is, after a few years, what I realized is no matter how much money I make, my boss will always make more
Always
money.
make more, yeah.
And I started thinking about how can we because I feel like I can do this on my own. I don't need them anymore, right? Like you said, you work for somebody else, and then somebody else comes, offers better conditions and terms. And
if they're not giving, if the upper person, even for us, if the upper person's not giving you more value, there's a reason to stay with them. If you're just, on autopilot and you're self-sufficient, you do everything yourself, and you don't need them, but you just keep making them more money. That's when people start thinking, oh, do I really need to stay here? Can I do something else? Can I make more money if I do it on my own? But if you're giving them value, they're always going to want to stay.
And because I was commissioned my state same as was 4 years ago, I was making more sales and more money because I was doing it, not because he was appreciating me more.
Right.
But I want to give him a chance. I spoke to him and he said, listen, that's what I can pay you. If not, you can go. And he was very upset. Okay, I'll go then. And I left and I opened my own company. And I started selling tiles. I had a tile store set up. And then I really started thinking how to offer more services and goods, because people like me. They will buy from me if I sell them a car or house, whatever.
Right.
But in construction, when I was selling tiles, right, they always asked, can you do cabinets, countertops, this.
Oh, yeah.
So I grew. I bought actually a shop, countertop shop. I still have it. I bought a countertop shop. I hired people that were making countertops. We started selling cabinets. We added bathrooms. We added toilets, showers, everything. And then people are asking me, well, can you install it? So naturally, it was the next step to get into this business, right? I partnered with a friend of mine. He was a GC many years. It took a hell of a convincing to him to leave his job to partner up with me.
Right.
And then we opened that business, and that took off. And then I got into commercial construction. I met people like the.
How long were you doing the job when you first started? When you partnered up with him and you were selling the tile, selling the bathtubs, and doing the bathrooms, the kitchens, the cabinets.
That's like I said, it was kind of gradual. We kind of grew,
Okay.
But then I kept my tile business. I don't have anymore. I sold it because there was too many things going on. But I still have my countertop business, and we still hundreds of countertops. But the way I set it up, I have basically people working for me. I just manage them.
Right.
And that's another thing, kind of another topic. Once you set up a system where everybody works, your job is just to grow your brand, go to the meetings, bring new clients.
Yep.
Kind of grow your scale up. Basically, you don't do any physical work. I don't do any physical work anymore.
Right.
My day consists of going to different job sites that I have, kind of quality control.
Yeah.
If the guys need anything, my foreman, listen.
Well, how else are you supposed to grow if you're working on the job? How are you going to appointments? How are you going,
Yes.
trying to meet new people?
Right. Some people think that it's, if they stand there and build a wall, they save a little bit of money. But I can go out and bring 10 walls to build and hire people to build it, right?
Right.
So that's you get into this management ideas, you get into things where you can, how to scale up. Like if you want to become really make a lot of money, I'm talking about millions of dollars, that's the way to do it. You are not going to be able to do it if you work yourself physically.
Yeah, 100%.
There's just one you.
Only one you. Yeah, you need to have the right people in place, and I feel like that's with all our jobs. Like we were speaking about this before we started recording.
Yeah.
Same thing with real estate. We want to build a team, and as long as we keep giving the team leads and reasons to stay with us, with social media and this and that, you can grow it to 100 agents, and if you're making a percentage off every agent, if they're selling property, now you're going to be more focusing on putting systems in place to manage, those agents, not physically out there running around with buyers looking to buy a house.
Exactly. If you can figure out how to do that when others work, and you make money by just managing the whole setup you have built, that's the way to do it. And most people, let's say, they talk about Jeff Bezos and whoever, the Steve Jobs, they didn't work. They were just thinking, what can I make? Invent something, idea, or service because you can always find workers, man. Workers are everywhere. What you cannot find is mind that can come up with things that everybody wants and everybody needs. So you should be main focus, and that's how you really scale up.
Yeah, it's true. You could always find somebody, if you have the idea, you could always pay somebody to put your idea, to work.
Exactly.
You just need
ideas are scarce. Workers are everywhere.
It's so true.
Put that. So that's the thing. And then, like I said, we grew construction business. I had a connection with Planet Fitness. We started building that. And then I got like, when you make a lot of money, next step is like to invest it. So I got into flipping. I did a couple flips and they did phenomenal.
How many have you done so far? I know we just did the Belmont one, but
Yeah, this is my fourth flip.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm not like full-time flipper, but I'm trying to get to that. And then, because flipping, what differentiates from actual construction, because when you deal with the people that come to it, I don't like this wall, I don't like this, change it, that's very complicated. Like,
Right.
No matter how much patience you have, you're gonna get frustrated. But when it flips, you just build it. They can complain after, but
It's
you
done.
like it, don't buy it.
Right.
That's it.
Exactly.
That was my answer to people that complain about this and that. But before, when you used to have like, we still do. Right now, we focus on high-end clientele. I do a lot of jobs in the city, jobs at like 300, 400, 500,000 renovations. And these people are like, they're not regular people. Like they have 20 lawyers on board, this and that.
I know that one house that you just did in where was it, in Manhattan?
Yeah, the guy made
The guy was yellow. I mean, the guy spent $500,000 to redo this house, and he painted it yellow.
Yeah, he wanted the one wall green, one yellow. I mean, but listen, as long as you're paying, we'll paint it.
We'll paint whatever color you want.
We're getting paid for, so I'm telling my guys, listen, just do it. Okay, I know it's kind of weird and you think it's stupid, but we need to do it because that's what they want and they paid for it.
If they pay for it, they can have whatever they want.
As long as you're paying, we'll break it and build it again. No problem. That happened also before, so.
Jesus.
But yeah, right now I'm actually focusing on building my flipping business, and like you said, in the end game is rental, because I've been reading up a lot about the long-term wealth, generational wealth, and that's the way to go. If you can set it up, because you could be rich, but there's difference between rich and wealthy, right? I could be making 500,000, but if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, that's it, because I generate myself.
Right.
When you're wealthy, you have investments, you have rentals, and even if you get by a bus, those people,
you're making money while you're sleeping.
Exactly. People pay rent. So that's my next step, and I've been working on that. I'm looking to purchase some properties. So always, like, you gotta have some kind of success. Is not one thing. Let's say I made 500,000, I'm stopping. That's not success. Success would be, can I make 700,000 next year? Can I make $1 million?
Right.
So it's never-ending process, at least for me. It's like your steps, you reach the milestone, then you get another one, and that's it. And you just keep going till you die again. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's for me, for success, to me, it's like, okay, once I can make whatever money I need to survive, to be able to, have my family, to be able to go on a couple of vacations, to be able to, if I want to go away for a month, and if I'm not physically working, you still live your life and you're still bringing in enough income monthly.
Let's say in your case as a realtor, you want to have a big team or team strong enough, then you can go for 2 months away and they still working, everything's fine, nobody's complaining. Where is Josh? Josh is not here, things are falling apart.
Right.
So that's the goal. Like, that's for me. Is I'm also looking to always hire people that can rely on themselves first.
Yes, 100%.
If I have to go for a month on vacation, I come back and everything's in place, like I never left.
It's perfect.
That's success, and that's like good management. But if you're doing everything to like yourself and everywhere, that's first of all, it's very stressful.
Yeah.
And like I said, you may make a little bit more money, but in the grand scheme of things, it's
you're always going to be working to try to get the next piece.
Yeah.
I want to be able to get to the point where my kids have all this stuff already for them. I don't want them to be spoiled, but I want them to feel like
I'm first generation immigrant, so I don't expect it to be like I came in this country, I was like 16, but obviously, like you said, I don't have my children go through these things, and I want them to have a good life, but at the same time, they'll have to work for their money.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to work, but at least
nothing was given to me, nothing's going to given to them.
Exactly. Like if you work, as long as you work, you can have all this. You can have all this, but you still have to work. But you'll have, now your kids will be a little bit more.
Nothing is. I was washing dishes in college because I had to. My parents were far away. They couldn't help me. They didn't have in mind to help me. So I was doing things that I didn't want to do, but I had to do it. The only difference is I never thought I'm gonna do this the rest of my life. Be a dishwasher, work at Wendy's.
This is what I gotta do for just right now to get by.
Exactly. So there is no shame in working. There is shame in not working and leeching off somebody else.
Yep.
And like I said, a lot of people don't realize, man, this country is the biggest economy in the world. You know how much money circulates? Trillions of dollars. And if you can figure out how to get 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, this is such a tiny percentage.
It's so tiny.
It is not that hard.
There's so much money out there.
Yeah, exactly. Money is printed. It's out there. You don't have to figure it out.
Even when we can't afford it, they just print more of it. So there's plenty of it.
The other guy was, when he say, making money. We're not making money. Money is made. We're not allowed to make money. Money is made by
You're just trying to collect
U.S. Mint, and they've been working overtime making it. So right now, money's out there, like I said.
Yeah.
You just have to figure out the ways, and the best way is to provide service. If you're good at solving problems by providing service with a realtor or a construction, people will give you their money. You just have to show them that you can solve their problems, and that's the bottom line. If let's say you go to a meeting and they have some issues, this and that, some people will they'll sense it basically. Are you the right guy or not the right guy?
Right.
And that will differentiate you from other people.
Right.
And then they give you money. Trust me, people have a lot of money.
They open up the wallet.
People have a lot of money, man. Like, let's say I just had a meeting with a guy. He wants to renovate his apartment. He bought it for like I think $6 million. It's in the city. 95% people would not touch this anything. It's a beautiful apartment. I would not even change it.
He wants to rip it apart.
He says, I just want it my way. So he has a lot of money. If he bought it for $6 and he's gonna spend another $500 to renovate it, so what I need to do is just convince him that I'm the right guy for the job and I can solve all his problems.
Right.
He wants to put a hot tub in his terrace. He wants to do a pool. He wants to hang some fireplaces from the ceiling. This is like stuff that blood people say I couldn't do it. But I'm like, listen, we'll do it.
We'll find a way.
We'll find a way.
You pay, we'll find a way.
Exactly.
That's a good slogan. You pay, we'll find a way.
It's always like this. So like we just agreed. Money's out there.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. A lot of people have a lot of money. You just have to figure out to come up with a service or product that people need, people want, and they'll give you money for it.
100%. Now, obviously, you've been doing very well. You've been, getting jobs after job after jobs. So obviously, your quality of work speaks for itself, right?
Yeah, that's also important.
Obviously, I saw your work for the first time when we, put the Belmore house on the market, and it was beautiful. And I even told you, it's too much for the area. Like you went overboard. How beautiful it is.
Yeah,
People don't appreciate it.
That's a lot of times it's still I got carried away because I wanted to build perfect house, but what's perfect for me is not perfect for you.
Right. But leading up to that, what have obviously for me, social media has been a big thing in business for now. Like I used to post everything myself for the first 2 years while I was in business, and then I was like, what, I really want to take it to the next level. Started hiring, people to manage all my social media, manage everything, and then I ended up, hiring Juliana, who's filming our podcast right now, to literally run everything to the point where any company's going to probably do it better than I can, and it's going to look more professional, and literally to make good content all the time, it's like a full-time job. So, I wanted to take us to the next level, so now people can see me from who, they go on my Instagram, they could get a feel of who I am, plus they see all of our sales, and, when they call me, they feel like they know me already. It's not like they're meeting me for the first time, because they look at all the stuff I'm doing, this and that, they're like, oh, I like this kid, let me give him a call. What have you seen, is the best way for you? Have you gotten business, been scaling your business, and now I know you're getting into the social media, and you're posting more, etc. But
I just probably in January I opened my Instagram. I didn't have it before. I had my personal, but that's different for my business, and I'm really kind of just trying to grow, my social media following and try to post stuff. But it's kind of social media is really highlight reel, right? Nobody posts the jobs I didn't get. You're not posting the house you didn't sell.
Right.
Everybody posts stuff that I got this job, I'm doing this. So it's kind of. It will help people to see who you are, but not really, because
they don't see the failures. They're only seeing the good stuff.
Exactly. Nobody's gonna post stuff they couldn't.
You know what? Maybe you're onto something. Maybe we should post the stuff that we don't get, and people will really understand.
That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna this house didn't sell for over ask or didn't ask this, but again, that's what people do. But I try to make it like post stuff I'm working on, my projects we do, and it will help people to see where we at. But for me, it was big. It's basically recommendations from others. If you do well for a person, that's why I was telling you, listen, this job is going to give us 10 more jobs. So that's how you got to look at it. Especially when we work with the high-end customers, they're very picky who they're going to work with. So if they have somebody that already, their friend had a good experience, they're going to most likely go with the same person. So for me, it was word of mouth, basically. A lot of, customer service. And I always try to go to my job sites, make sure that, people are comfortable. Because a lot of times you have to explain what you're doing, how you're doing, what's the process. And there's a lot of change orders as well sometimes.
Right.
That's the most part when people think they're gonna pay,
And you have to go to them, hey, listen, you want this, but we have to change it. It's gonna cost this.
Then if you want to paint this wall 3 times, I mean, I can do it, but obviously it's not gonna be free because it's my time, my labor, my guys. I could be doing something else. So that's I always focus on customer service, talking to people. It has to be respectful. A lot of times it's not nice conversation because they were expecting something else in their head and it came out not that way. They might yell at you. They might go crazy. That's why I'm trying to get into flips where nobody's yelling at me for no reason. Sometimes there is a reason, but when you do that, you just build a house and that's it. If they want to sell it, they can sell it. If not, so that's where we at.
All right. So, what is the top thing? Like, where do you see ESG and yourself going? Like, what's the 5-year plan? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
5 years, I want to get into more flips, and I want to get into rentals. That's my plan. I've been looking at it, but what I understand, there's actually much easier to do in other states. I had a contact in Florida. You could buy apparently a multi-unit for $300,000-400,000. Where around here you cannot buy nothing for $300,000.
You can buy a shack. You can buy a garage.
Yeah. So I've been trying to read up on that and kind of. Because a lot of people that are very successful in this business, they have rentals all over the country. They're not just limited to specific geographical area. Because this BRRRR method that people talk about, I was reading up on that, trying to understand. But what I realized is it's almost impossible to do it in New York. There's 2 reasons for it. There's the properties are very expensive, and taxes are very expensive.
That's the main thing. Taxes.
Yeah.
It's
so
crazy.
your payment almost never will be covered by a rental, and you have not something left over. You always have to leave some equity in the house.
Yep.
Whereas in Florida or Texas, they go in, they do this BRRRR thing and take all the money out, and they have some left over on top of it, because taxes are $2,000-3,000 and properties are your payments are $1,500.
Yeah, a lot less.
Yeah, but around here, I don't know, it's impossible.
It's very, very tough.
House is like $500,000 regular house, right? And then your taxes are usually over $10,000, so you always have to leave some equity in the house before you. But a lot of people still got rentals, so it's possible.
So you think you would want to do rental stuff out of New York?
That's what I believe. I was looking in some in Florida. I understand it's very and the other thing is when people don't pay over there, you can get them on in a week.
Whereas over here, they stay for a year.
It takes a year or 2 or 3. It depends,
It's crazy. Now, here, rental rights, you have none. I mean, the renters they own everything, and you just have to keep paying.
And which is crazy.
Crazy.
The people that I understand, it's hard to get them out, but also the people that own their houses, they also have to pay their mortgages, their livelihood.
Like I get the rent. Like the renter is like, okay, I don't gotta pay. I don't have a job. I can't go on the street. But then the renter, the owner still has to pay. And like, what happens if I can't afford to pay the house?
Exactly. So where is the rights for
There's no like middle ground. It's so one-sided.
Yeah.
So overall, 5-year plan to start having how many rental properties?
The more the better, man. But you have to be realistic. So I would say maybe if I can add like 1 or 2 a year, that's good pace for me.
Now, do you want to continue in the development of doing jobs, etc., or do you want to focus all your time to more flips to buy more rentals, or do you plan on putting somebody in place to manage the construction?
I feel like if I get into full-time like investment as far as the flips, it's good money if you do it right, and I'm very experienced by now in construction. But like you said, the Belmar house was a little bit overkill. I did some stuff. I probably spent $20,000. That didn't make any difference as far as price.
Right.
I built the deck. I built this, the back, all this stuff that if I wouldn't do it, I'm pretty sure I would sell the same.
Probably. Even listen, the waterfall edges, beautiful. Right. But did somebody appreciate it?
But thing is, I own the shop, so for me, it still cost me about $1,000 in material, but as far as labor and
right, it was
just nothing.
Yeah.
So even the front door was like $3,000 door. If I would put $500, probably would get
sold. Yeah.
But that particular project was, I had such a big spread. I just wanted to do something nice.
Right, you did it nice.
Yeah.
You left that project and that house was perfect.
Exactly, and I didn't have any regrets. What I did was, and the people who bought it probably gonna enjoy it. Nice door, nice, and they get compliments. So
every single person loved it. They're like, this door's so heavy.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm not gonna do it again because at some point you have to understand. You're not building perfect house, right? It's a business with profit.
Right.
So the money you overspend could that money you lost.
Yeah, because it's money in your pocket technically.
I think they say like for every $1,000 you put in, you gotta get 2 back. Basically, that's a good ratio.
Yeah, you want to get at least every dollar, because if you're gonna put in $1 to get $1 back, why put in $1?
Exactly. So with that, probably I should have gotten like $40,000 more because I spent 20 extra, but I didn't.
Right.
But it's fine. Listen, I'm not. There's no regrets. I did a good job, but I'm happy to show this house pictures to everybody. And,
it came out great.
No, that was a good deal. That was, I don't want to brag, but I made literally over $200,000 in one deal. That's probably never gonna happen again.
But now it's what you do with that money that makes it worth it. Just to make that money. If you don't use it well, then whatever.
But there's 2 things that happened, right? I bought it in the middle of pandemic. I mean, I bought it. I stole the property. Nobody wanted to touch anything in real estate. People were dying.
Yeah, they were nervous. No one was really sure what was going to happen.
Even Chuck, my attorney, is like, I've been in business for 30 years. There was never time where for almost a month there's no deals happening.
Yeah, everybody was so scared.
Crazy time, shut down, but I risked it, right? I'm kind of risk taker. My life I've been doing things that others wouldn't do.
Well, that's why you have such a big reward.
Exactly, high risk, high reward. And then what happened also, I didn't expect to sell for, so I was thinking it's gonna go for 800.
Right, so you bought low because people were scared. Then all of a sudden people were buying, and it was going through the roof.
By the time it was ready to go to market, I got almost 90,000 over asking, like what I was expecting to get. So I had a very large spread.
Right.
So that's another thing. Like sometimes you gotta make quick decisions. If you would linger about, should I take this house or not? You just gotta go for it, and you have to believe in yourself, believe the process, because they say self-doubts kill more dreams than actual failures do.
It's true.
A lot of people are doubting their ability to do something, and
a lot of people are just scared to take that chance.
I've been reading up a lot lately, like on self-development, and it's actually, a lot of people think it's BS, but it's not. It helps you. It helps you to become a person that you want to become. Like you have to read up on different, authors that talk about how you have to believe. Like you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe you're the best. You have to believe that nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
And actually, at some point, you're gonna become a person you think you want.
You're gonna believe it.
Yeah, and it's really helpful.
It changes your mindset. It changes how you speak. You just sound more confident.
Everybody to start just to dress properly for the person you want to be, to think, to act. That's the first step. Obviously, at some point, you're gonna have to become the person because you cannot BS your way till
Yeah, unfortunately, a nice T-shirt doesn't work every time.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's the first step, man.
It's true though.
It's really important, right? The self-doubt is killing everything.
Yeah. Listen, if you don't believe in yourself, how are you gonna, how are you gonna speak to somebody and expect them to believe in you if you don't believe in your own self?
That's the best way to put it. If you think you're the best, if you think you're not the best, how are you gonna convince me you're the best?
Like when we met, I was confident. How confident was I when you?
Listen. Like I said, I liked you, your partner, and you guys were like. Because I try to see people through if they're BSing or not, because I don't have time. I went through all this stuff way before. I'm on a different level now. I cannot waste time with people. But of course, you also you had some numbers behind you, right? You have a big office, you have many agents, so I kind of was looking at that too, because I'm nothing against giving people a chance, but for that particular project, I just didn't have time to.
Right, you weren't looking there to take a chance. You were looking for somebody to get the job.
But it came out well. We did it. We got numbers we wanted, so it's all good.
So, obviously, what is the number one thing, or the top 2 things you would recommend to somebody that's looking to start a new business, or they're looking to, in 2021 where everybody's on social media, etc. What's the top 2 things that you would recommend to somebody that's starting to open up their own business, or they're looking to make a career change? What are the 2 things they should, try to focus on?
Great question. Number 1, focus your business around your strength, right? If you're good at something, monetize that basically. If you're good at sales, get into sales. If you're a person that likes to talk to people, that has no fear to get in front of a camera, start building your brand online. I started doing some videos. I wasn't comfortable really, but I felt like if I start doing it, people will get to know me on a more personal level.
100%.
Because the major reason people are not doing business with you, they don't know who you are.
100%. I always say, if you walk into a room and they don't know I sell real estate, that's on me. Like when I see all these for sale signs around my house, and they're like, oh, why didn't they call me? Because they don't know I do real estate. I'm not telling them I do real estate. If I walk in a room, everybody should know, hey, that's Josh Handler. He sells real estate, blah, blah, blah. If they don't know, you can't be mad at them.
Yeah, so don't be shy. And we're in an age where it's so easy to get in front of millions of people. flip a switch and you're out there. You know, people are gonna see you, and don't be shy, man. Talk about, brag about your success, because people need to know that. People like to hear that. What have you done? How many sales you have? Because that's what will make people decide based on that. If you have no sales, a lot of people are kind of hesitant to do business with you because you're just starting, and they don't have time to experiment and help you out, whatever. People just want to prove results. So if you have sales, if you make numbers, if you do $1 million in construction, get it out there, let the people know.
Absolutely.
That's my advice.
So if anybody is looking to remodel their bathrooms, their kitchen, they're looking to add a porch, a deck, whatever they want to do, what's the best way to get a hold of you? How do they find you on Instagram?
Yes.
How do they do it?
Instagram is ESG_development. My number is 347-893-8140. Give me a call. I'm here. I'm ready to help. Ready, willing, and able.
Awesome.
That's what I say.
Obviously, I've been lucky enough to work with you, so I really appreciate it. Hopefully, we're able to grow to more.
Many, like I said, I'm looking
to keep going.
Exactly. I'm not gonna stop, and we have
more and more to come.
Exactly.
So that being said, if you have a house that is falling apart, if it has CO issues, permit issues, you just want to sell it because you inherited it, it's falling apart, you don't want it, reach out to, obviously you could reach out to George directly, you could reach out to myself, 516-732-6398. We would love to, come take a look at any properties that you're looking to, sell. Again, if you're looking to buy a house or you're looking to put your home on the market, we're always here to answer any questions that you have. Give us a call, 516-732-6398. Until next time, that's a wrap.